Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I want to show you how to use crystal clay, which is a two-part epoxy clay. When it arrives to you, it's going to arrive in a package like this. It'll show the color up top. It actually comes in 18 different colors, wide range of pinks, blues, purples, browns, anything you might need for your creative uses. When you first open it up, you take it out, you'll notice on the back side of the packaging are detailed step-by-step instructions for you to follow. It's really easy to do. I'll show you in this video just how easy. You're going to get your clay, which is actually going to be denoted Part A and Part B. Part B is the hardener and Part A is the color. You can mix various colors of Part A together to create your own unique color palette. This one here is green. Take those out in a moment. You're also going to receive a toothpick with some beeswax on the tip. That's going to help you pick up your chatons or other objects. And then you are going to receive as well a pair of rubber gloves, because this is sticky stuff. You're going to want to use some gloves, and then you're going to receive a little sample baggie of some chatons as well. Let me put these out on the table so you can see what you're getting. And these are going to be assorted. You'll see you get a nice little collection, and you'll see how easy they are to pick up with the toothpick with the beeswax on the tip. And then all you're going to need to do is find something to adhere your clay to. It adheres to any surface, into a bezel setting, any way you might want to use it. I've pulled some different samples here to show you how many choices you have. Here I have a compact mirror with a nice bezel top to it. I've got cufflinks, rings, a little key with a decorative little setting in it that we can go ahead and put some epoxy clay in, and the stones, whole wide range of choices. For this particular project, I'm going to take this ring setting with the round bezel. And so to begin, what you're going to want to do is take out your clay, and it's squishy. If it gets to the point where it gets really hard, which sometimes can happen with extreme temperature fluctuations, such as extreme heat or extreme coolness, all you need to do is take a plastic baggie, put the clay in it, run it under hot tap water for about a minute, and then it's going to loosen back up and be usable again. So don't worry if that does happen. So I'm going to put my rubber gloves on, and beforehand I've removed any rings, and I've gone ahead and I've washed my hands really good, because we're going to take the gloves off in a little bit. We want to make sure we have clean hands, otherwise any dirt or lint might get embedded into your clay. So the best way to go about this is open up your package. You're only going to want to take off as much as you need to use. You have about 60 to 90 minutes work time, which is actually quite generous. And then it's going to cure without needing to bake in 12 to 24 hours. So I have my setting here, and I need to kind of guesstimate how much I think I'm going to need. So I'm going to pinch off a little. And I'm going to roll it into a ball. Just like so. I'm going to put the rest aside, and I'm going to do the same for my hardener, my Part B. And what I'm trying to do is create two equal balls. And that is how I'm going to measure it. My Part B looks a little bit more than my Part A. Just going to pinch off a little bit. When I'm happy that my balls are the same size, I'm going to squish them together. And I'm just going to keep kneading them. And what I want to do is I want to knead them until all the striations are gone. So you can see they're becoming marbled. So just keep working with them. That looks really good to me. So now what I need to do is I need to roll it into the shape of my setting. I have a round setting, so I'm going to roll it into a round ball. If I was doing a square one, I try to keep it more of a square shape. Same thing if I was going to do an oval, I would do more of an oval shape, or if I was going to do this inset ring with the channel setting, I would try to roll it into more of a tube shape. Now, since I'm doing a circle for this project, So now that I've got my ball, I'm going to put it in the center of my ring. Once I put it into this ring setting, I can tell that looks a little bit big, and the beauty of this clay is you do have a lot of work time. So it's sticky in there, but I could still remove it. I'm going to pinch it, create a smaller ball, and then what I'm going to do with my extra is I'm going to create another setting with it so it doesn't go to waste. There we go. Take off my gloves, pick up my little ball, put it in the center of my ring, pat it down, and now I'm going to pat it into the setting. I'm not going to push it. I don't want it to spill over. I'm just going to pat it as it keeps going lower and lower and into the setting. You can see how it's filling it up. And this is why I wanted to make sure my hands were really clean before I started, because I wouldn't want any residual ink or hairs or anything to get into my clay, because it would dry embedded in it. There we go. I'm happy with that shape. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put this little guy as well to another little setting. Same process. There we go. All right, time to add some stones. So I take the beeswax tip, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a stone on the surface and press it into my shape, into my clay. I'm going to press it down so that the top of the stone is just a little bit under the surface of the clay, just so that when it does dry, it'll create a nice catch and my stones will stay in place. And this is just going to be a real random pattern. You can do whatever you want. This one, though, I wanted to just be a fun, bright ring. If you need to turn your stones over, if their top is pointing up, just turn them over with the beeswax. If you find that your toothpick is actually causing the stones to pull up, like you're having a hard time releasing the beeswax, what you want to do is you just want to roll the tip off of the stone. So press it in, roll it, and then it'll come up right away. I need to turn over a few more stones to see what I have. All right, when you're happy with how your ring looks, what you want to go ahead and do, or any object you're making, is you're going to take your finger, you're just going to lightly tap and press everything into place. You just want to make sure they're secure. So you want to make sure that the form, like I created a dome shape to my ring, you want to make sure that form did not get distorted when you were placing your stones. There you go. You've got a ring, and what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to take these last couple stones that I had left over, and I'm going to put it on here, and this is going to be a great little charm. I want to see what colors I have. There we go. And it really was that easy to do. Now that I have my ring done, I'm going to wait for 12 to 24 hours for it to fully cure. There's no baking or firing required, and it's going to be a solid piece. Here are a couple other examples of items you can make using the crystal clay and crystal chatons. We have the ring, which we just did in the video. Here are a couple compacts. You can see that we've actually taken a piece of filigree, put that into the crystal clay, and then adorned it with the crystals. And we actually have a video that you can see on how to do this exact project. Here is a purse hanger. We've done a random pattern of various sizes, shapes, and colors of the chatons. And then here's a fun project. It's just a channel set ring, which has a little indent where you can put the crystal clay around the exterior of it. And then we just laid in rows clear crystal chatons. So these are a couple ideas. The possibilities really are limitless, so let your creativity flow and have fun with the crystal clay and the crystal chatons.